down. So no more mines out there. So Dragoons, at the very least, 4 Dragoons at this point will be able to manage to put this back. 1 Dragoon will go down as that happens.
To a vulture. Aww.
Yeah, kind of sad. Flash was actually pushing in with his own tank as he did that, but saving both of his tanks, sacrificing a few vultures. So overall, he's keeping his army composition up, keeping the tank number up, and soon he's gonna have way too many. He's gonna have more tanks, might have more tanks, or equal amount of tanks as there are Dragoons, except he's gonna have auxiliary units. 1 more Dragoon to get picked off there, but at this point, Free desperately trying to fight back, but Flash already has the natural expansion going. Free just now has his own going, it's very heavily damaged. So if Flash gets even close to that natural spot, he won't even need to really try to go up that ramp. He would just be able to siege on the bottom of it and pick off that Nexus with just a few siege volleys of siege tanks. He's going to have the auxiliary forces overall to do that. Flash now even expanding at the mineral only. He does not at all need to do this. He could just get a few more factories up, mass up an army and go, but he's just going to play economical. He's just going to be able to overwhelm Free because Free cannot do anything about this. Beautiful job there by Flash, microing his CV, coming in close, using his tanks from the back. So absolutely dominant play here from Flash, I gotta say.
Yeah, he's just taking his lead and solidifying it, taking it farther, and just showing Free what's up here, following his counter to that 12 next. You know, during that last engagement, I was kind of trying to watch and see whether or not Free was actually Psylocke, because his 12 next went down. You saw him re-put up the Nexus and then another pylon, and that pylon went down as well. Like it almost looked like Free was forced to wait because he had like a round of units behind just when that pylon went down, and that let Flash stay in there for a little bit longer and get some more damage done on that Nexus and almost take it down. And some mines. Looks like none of the mines actually went off. Oh no, another mine! Oh man, Flash is trying real hard to land some of these mines, but Free's doing a pretty solid job of picking them off before they can explode. So far, trying to do a mine drag and gets a partial mine drag, does some damage to the siege tanks, but not that much. Flash is doing a pretty solid job of microing these siege tanks around. So the damaged one, I think he's microing it towards the back. I hope so. I hope he's paying attention. And that Zealot is going to die. He's going to try to mine drag it and gets another half mine drag onto that siege tank. So I think we got 2 siege tanks in the red here. So if Free can just get a little bit more, just a couple more units, he can at least push this back and stay alive yet again for another couple minutes. That's about all this is. I mean, Free is losing so much and falling behind so far economically that even though he's about to clean this up, taking down 2 of the tanks that were in red, and has enough Dragoons that he can really clean this up at this point. Flash is just going to retreat. It just doesn't matter. I think that shuttle has a Reaver in it, so maybe if he kills, like 10 SCVs right here. Here comes a Scarab. Is it? No. Getting blocked by the 1 SCV, so that's gonna dud. And I think if that Reaver maybe got 10 to 15 kills, maybe he could have come back, but nothing's happening. This is done. That Reaver almost goes down. The shuttle is almost dead. He can't even play games with that shuttle at this point. Too risky right now. So Free is just about out of options.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Really kind of sad. It's like watching a dying man. It's sad and kind of scary. I scare myself sometimes. But anyway, Free actually trying to pick up a third, trying to keep up, but there's just no shot. This Reaver, he needed to get something done with this. He needed to go and get something done with this, but unfortunate for him, he's not going to manage to do that. He's moving out with this small Dragoon count out there. I think he had a Zealot in their support and observers out there to go clear up some mines, maybe put on some pressure, but I don't think he's going to be able to accomplish more. He is going to be able to bypass the turret inside that main. Not quite sure he's going to be able to get that Reaver down there. No! Desperately microing it. The turret has gotten some with shields up, so he should be able to take a couple of turret shots. But is he actually going to try to go risky, try to get close to that mineral only lines? Free actually coming, I think, and pushing out here. Vultures not in position, only 1 Vulture with mines. Mine gets picked off. All the SCVs coming off the line. There are 3 siege tanks there. Some of the Dragoons trying to come in close, force the siege tanks to kill their own little friends there, but the SCVs do an absolutely beautiful job of holding the Dragoons back. 1 Goliath alongside 2 siege tanks. Some of the Dragoons trying to come in close, but beautiful blockading with everything here. Vultures come in to support as well. Some of the Dragoons aren't going to be able to get in close and pick off the tanks at the very least, but still not enough. I feel only a few Dragoons left at this point. Gonna force a float, but I still don't think this is gonna be enough. Free trying to go for a desperate final push. Might get a nice mine drag in there, picking off a tank and a Vulture. So now Flash is finding himself being a little bit pressured here, but I think he's gonna be able to reinforce this pretty quickly. Unfortunately, he's going to be forced to keep some of his vultures back inside of his own main just because of the trouble he's there. But Free doing an absolutely beautiful job, though, with a pusher, forcing the third to foot while he gets his own third going. Is he going to be able to get some damage done with this Reaver? He might find a bunch of vultures out there for Flash. He's not pushing them out there reinforcing. This is actually pretty cool by Free there. Just by keeping that shuttle in there, he's forcing Flash to keep some of his forces back. But I think this is just a slight delaying strategy. This is more for Free to get his own third going. Has this little Dune up. His tech is significantly late, so just not getting this little Ladoon. Still, despite that nice play there, he still looks like he's in a lot of trouble. That shuttle and Reaver not
Just
even sure what's going to do anything.
comes.
Finally, Goliath out there.
There
Yeah,
it is.
Goliath comes out, and that's it. That's goodbye. That's goodbye to Free's little mind tricks, and very soon probably going to see Flash deciding to go for a push with Revenge. And he has such a huge number of vultures now, he might just send those up first and might even be able to do a significant amount of damage at the 9 o'clock position. If he pushes into that and picks that off, he'll be able to just go up north to the Natural Expo and push that, and that's going to be it. Free actually trying to pick up 4th. He knows he desperately needs to get his economy up, desperately needs to get a huge amount of troops, but I don't think he's really going to be able to do anything because Flash ends up pushing out with Weapons 1, and we're going to be seeing the end of this matchup very soon.
Yeah, Flash is just not passive enough anymore these days for Free to get this 4th. He's just not going to allow Free to. And it looks like Flash is actually going to go try and use that little trick, put his siege tanks on the low ground, siege the Natural. I think that this is completely lame that a Terran can even do this. I hate this fact that this exists, but it is what it is. Take advantage of the map however you can, so I think that this is going to be the final death blow here. As vultures are streaming in, and some Zealots, slow Zealots here. He doesn't even have speed completed at the 14-minute mark, which is just awful. About the 14-minute mark, you really need Arbiters at this point at 14 minutes, and he doesn't even have a Templar Archives, much less a Stargate or a Tribunal. It's just not looking pretty. And it looks like he's going to come in here with a flank, going to pick up the mines at the back, has some Dragoons on the high ground, trying to take down these tanks, but those vultures are very, very well positioned to keep the vulture, or to keep the Dragoons and the Zealots back as much as possible. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there by Flash, allowing a couple of those Zealots to get in and actually getting a huge mine drag on 2 of those tanks. So the first tiny little micro error that I think I've seen I think that's the first error in terms of micro I've seen from Flash all game, really. Allowing that one Zealot to go through, and in the end it's, you know, it's too little too late, and there's the GG from Free. So yeah, wow, 12 next doesn't work on 2-player maps. Free, it kind of gets scouted out and you get bunker rushed, so if you're gonna do it, you gotta go 2 gateways plus that shield battery as fast as possible. You just can't defend it any other way.
Yeah, unfortunate for Free going for the 12 next on 2-player map, so ends up getting crushed despite valiantly fighting back, especially at that one point near the end, but unfortunately just not enough to delay long enough to get himself back in the game. So GG guys, Renshin and Deja Vu out. See you guys in the second set.
See ya.